Hey there, I'm Cheese, and this is the Ants Build Day 101. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is pre-builds. Pre-builds, much like every other pre-day, is exactly how it sounds. It's the act of lining up builds to finish just after reset, or just after the day starts, or the start of the Warzone week. Build day can be a little more troublesome though. There is a 4-hour cooldown on week 1, which is the calculation period for your matchup for the next week. That means that you need to keep track of which calendar week it is, week A or week B, to make sure that your builds fall in the right place on the timer. So the next thing that I want to talk about is colony actions. Colony actions, much like every other SVS day, colony actions are going to line up starting 1 hour after reset, so on that second colony action, and then they're going to alternate every other hour. There are other colony actions that you can do outside of this schedule though, but for build day they aren't particularly good. Speed up management is another thing that you should be keeping in mind. If you've been following my guidance and advice from the other videos, you shouldn't realistically be having huge issues with speed up management. You should have more than you need from the colony actions and the server versus server rewards from the rest of the week. Ideally, more than enough to compete in your daily SVS. Today is a little bit different though, and that does bring me on to my next point. Unlike Troop Day, Special Ant Day, Groundhog Day, and Warzone Expedition, Build Day is finite. Eventually you will run out of builds, so there are some long-term strategies that you can put in place to slow down while getting the most bang for your buck, while not slowing down your overall growth too much. First of all, try not to let builds complete outside of build day. This might seem counterintuitive to begin with, but honestly, your overall growth isn't going to be affected that much. It's actually the most efficient method to use your resources in the long run, which eventually the requirements become very expensive. The next sub point to this is if you only go to 6-star, it will slow down your growth a little, but it'll allow you to have more weeks to get rewards from server versus server. Without doing this, you'll have to rely on secondary quests to get the rewards for build day, which realistically isn't sustainable as they aren't abundant enough to get a solid amount of points. So my final piece of advice for build day is if you're just starting out in the Ants, consider investing in some $1 packs from the Ant store. They're cheap and they go a long way in the early game. For example, we've got this one here which gives quite a nice amount of speed ups. There is also this one in the monthly that gives pretty reasonable amount of resources and a few gems, speed ups and whatnot, just to help you get going. In the benefits, the Warzone Packs are also fantastic for this. So these packs will give you an abundant amount of speed ups, which will be more than your lower queen levels will supply in the SVS. Eventually you will get to a higher queen level, and with that you'll get higher tier rewards, and you won't need the strongest Warzone packs or any of the $1 packs anymore realistically. Also, it's nice to mention that it supports the game and how it keeps the server up. I see a lot of hate towards the pay-to-win guys, but honestly, without players contributing, they wouldn't be able to provide such an awesome game for us all to play. Anyway, I think it's time to wrap this one up. Thanks for watching. This has been Build Day 101. Subscribe for more. Bye bye.